Okay, Manitoba now under provincial state of emergency. This was taken in Flin Flon by some firefighters who were forced to evacuate because of extreme wildfire activity. Look how bushy that fuel is there. Very dangerous situation and not much relief in sight for them. Not much relief in sight. Gonna be hot, gonna be hot, gonna be hot, gonna be hot. And the rain that's coming through Western Canada isn't really gonna hit this area. It doesn't seem so far. I got all the details for you on the channel right here. Joey Only Caribou Weather Dude YouTube channel. Hit like, share, subscribe. Let's get on with the show. There it is. This is bad news. My God. Falling out right now. Anything can happen. Get on! Wow. I'll watch the video later. Ain't dry mopping this. Okay, let's start in Western Canada. Some activity on the fires in British Columbia, finally. A couple of these guys here showing some activity. G90216 looking like it was pretty active today for sure. There's a couple out here that are new in the Rocky Mountains here. We got this one that looks like it's done a fair bit in the last 24 hours too. So a couple new fires out there that have been fairly active in BC. A bunch of smaller ones here out and about and about. You could go look at BC Wildfire Service's own dashboard and get information on those specifics on those fires. But they are showing some activity. Finally seeing some fires showing activity. Now, we had those lightning strikes go on through the last couple of days, and that's what really contributed to now basically a spot of new flurry of new fires through Alberta. A couple of these ones here showing a fair bit of activity today, growing some heads. Definitely very, very hot there. Temperatures into the 30s across Western Canada. Seen some record-breaking weather in BC. Areas like Cache Creek broke their all-time record today for today, you know. So a bunch of fires in Alberta showing activity. We expect to see more of them wake up ahead of the system that moves through tomorrow that makes all the lightning. That will calm things down maybe temporarily, some of the activity, but then, you know, we have the risk of a whole bunch of new fire starts in Alberta. So the fire story is really just starting for Alberta, whereas in Saskatchewan, we are in late stages of chaos here, where the Shoe Fire and Camp Fire have effectively merged over the last couple days here and showing a lot of activity today as well, really growing, really heads, really pushing and changing. Definitely had some winds coming from some different directions over the last few days, so that hasn't helped. It helped push these fires into some new fuels and whatnot, so it's helped grow them in several directions, a couple of them, right? This one has a head that's looking like pretty normal. That's cool. J. Smith Fire up here, right? So this one that's been all over the highway up there, showing a fair bit of activity there, really taking a run today, that fire. A lot of smoke coming out of these ones in Saskatchewan. A lot of smoke. That's really, really nuts. Look at some of this smoke here. Really chugging on up. Now, a big concern is Flin Flon, right? They've been evacuated, right? The fire is right near the edge of town here on the very north. Like, it's very visible from town, all of this. A lot of the fire is like the head is moving up to the northeast. All in all is where does it want to go? Where has it been moving? However, until winds stabilize and we get some winds out of the west, you know, the town itself is kind of not protected. And meanwhile, if we get winds out of the west, this guy Wolf is really chugging. This is a big fire. It's been going on for a couple days, and it's not that far from Wolf now to Flin Flon. This fire has managed to make some ground. It looks like it's less than 40 kilometers from that fire to Flin Flon. So, I mean, that's a distance. It's not that far, given the fact that we have a summer ahead, right? So if that westerly starts pushing this fire back more in this direction, I mean, look, this Flin Flon fire has basically gone that distance that we're thinking that this one, if it went that same distance, it would challenge Flin Flon again. So, as well as other communities, right? Sheridan here, it's been under the go from the Kississing Lake fire. So this town's been evacuated. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look good for them. I don't have good news on that. I don't have specifics on the fire, but just looking where that activity is, some of this could be smoke that was getting picked up by, you know, some of the hot smoke from the pyrocumulus that the satellites are getting. But to me, like looking at the location of this town, looking where these hot spots are, I mean, that's a battle. There's a battle ahead for that little town of Sheridan. I'm concerned about that for sure. That's a town that looks really at risk in the immediate future. Some of these other ones, Puckatawagan, Lots of activity. That one really seemed to show. Look at that. It really kicked off a lot of smoke today. It grew. Our guy up here, you can see the direction it wanted to move, basically, where the smoke is. So that is concerning for Lynn Lake, the fact that it is moving that direction, right? Like the growth is towards the community again, all in all. So that's a crazy streak of smoke across the north, right over onto Hudson Bay. Crazy. These fires down by the Ontario border showing some activity. Really woke up this afternoon. But not cooler temperatures there. Not taking off like these guys. But the weather's going to warm up now for that part of Manitoba for a couple of days. So we're probably going to see those fires down here get very, very, very active. So that is concerning for them. Some special weather statement in the North Thompson today. But as I say, cooler air will arrive on Thursday. So things will get back to seasonal a little bit more. Heat warning continuing in northern Alberta, right? So overnight lows will be in the mid-teens into Thursday morning. So this will continue Thursday. Whereas in the south, no, they will continue Thursday with daytime highs near 30 degrees, overnight lows near 14, and tonight into Thursday morning. Cooler temperatures are forecast for Friday for them. So both cooler temperatures forecast. So that low is going to move across. The thunderstorm outbreak is going to come across, and it's going to really knock down the temperature across the way. Air quality warnings through Saskatchewan, special air quality statements, even on the Flin Flon side, air quality warnings. All these special weather statements are all because of air quality, all because of smoke, right? So this is really bad. And of course, even in this far corner down by the Ontario border, Kenora really taking some of that smoke as well at times over the last while. That fire has been a story. So check it out. Cache Creek hit 36 today. Old record was 35. Creston 32.4. They've been keeping records there since 1912. Dawson Creek up to 32, 31.9, basically 32. Fort St. John got to 30.4. That's nuts. Richmond got to 27.4. Vancouver 27.9. I was in Vancouver entire summers where it barely got to 28. And then, of course, New Brunswick, you get daily temperature maxes too. New record of 23.3 in Grand Mahon and 18.3 new record in Newfoundland. Look at these temperatures. Holy cow, BC. And I'm sure we're going to see more of that kind of thing over the next couple days. Yeah, look at, monthly temperature forecast here. What do they think? Above average for like everywhere for the next month is what they think. Well, okay, we'll see, but that's what they're saying. So Thursday, low humidity, strong winds. Of course, we've got these thunderstorms that are coming across. You can kind of see the areas where the thunderstorms are expected. They're like cool pockets of humidity moving across there. So Thursday, watching where that humidityx kind of drops off. Temperatures drop off and behind it. But 26s, that's going to make for some erratic winds, though, ahead of it. Strong winds up that line. So I'm a little bit concerned about gusty winds pushing on fires. But yeah, get a little bit of a break there. A little bit of a break in humidity, and that comes across Saskatchewan. But unfortunately, they're just not getting fire. The water is going to be falling on Flin Flon and on these fires in here. It's going to be moving to the north, basically out towards Arviat. So second low starts to try to come in. Then Saturday, you can see it here in southern BC. Second low comes in. Temperatures really spiking through the prairies all this time. So low humidex values. Look at that, 29, 26, you're going to see 17%. So wildfire behavior still really extreme for these guys all in Saskatchewan. No good news for you. That low coming across does, maybe knock the temperature down for a bit and bring some humidity, but the rain is coming up to the, all ports. You can kind of draw a line like this where the rain is expected to come across. So we're not seeing a huge break for them, even if we have kind of a return to seasonal temperatures next week, kind of starting off. So that is at least the first good news we've had in a little while, is that it'll probably get a little bit cooler next week. But no, not on Thursday, not on Friday. We'll be seeing 30s through a lot of Alberta and Saskatchewan. That temperatures, they're moving into Manitoba now. We'll see those fires all pick up, get more and more extreme. Flin Flon, it's like you are going to be really watching a lot. You're right in the crosshairs of that campfire, right? So or Wolf, that fire. That's the one called Wolf. So that's what we're concerned about. This weekend still very warm in the prairie. Southern BC, yeah, but northern BC, no, because we're going to look at precip coming across here in a second here. So we've had like atmospheric river-like conditions on the BC coast. They've been taking quite a bit of rain there over the last little while. So we're going to see that early in the morning, temperatures are still very warm, like 20 degrees, but before 10 a.m. in Vernon and things like that. You'll start seeing that lightning kick off, start seeing more and more lightning. So we're concerned about fire starts along all this line, especially out ahead of the precip when like the lightning starts firing. Like that high temperature is not looking like a lot of rain, just thunderstorms, just straight thunderstorms, right? At least we in the BC interior, we're getting a little bit more rain with our thunderstorms. Stronger signals in southern Caribou. May even see some lightning up to Prince George. So we're watching that. And the next low is coming in behind for us, but here we are on Thursday evening. Watching the last of that fizzle out and then kind of the rain hitting across. So we're hoping some of that rain shares across. We're going to see a bunch of new fire starts. Going to see a lot of new fire starts, I think, out of this. This early morning lightning threat in Saskatchewan, but it's going to kind of fizzle out into rain. Now you see the next low slamming Friday morning into Haida Gwaii, slamming up the BC coast with strong winds, heavy rains. Your coastal lows like you like to get there. A little bit of rain through Saskatchewan, but look, watch what it does. It just like buggers on off to the north there. It really doesn't give anything into our fire area there. This sort of cross section where a lot of the fires are doing the worst things. So they're just avoiding the rain again. It's not nice. So we're watching like the instability kind of increase, the low trying to take shape somewhere. Okay, here it is. No, now it's down to Spokane. No, it's over in Edmonton. Where's the low? Where's the center of the low? It doesn't really have like much cohesion. More lightning in southern BC on Saturday, more lightning in Alberta in the Edmonton area, and all the way up to the Arctic Circle on Saturday. We'll be seeing lightning up to Norman Wells, up to the Arctic Ocean, okay? This is unbelievable. This shit used to never happen. Yukon, the threat for fire starts across the north is unbelievable. We've never really seen anything quite like this, my friends. Like, no, and those humidex values have been way up into the north. So on Saturday, when that low really starts to take shape, it's going to be putting out a lot of lightning. We're going to have a lot more fire starts come out of this. So maybe there's a bit of a cool down. Maybe a little bit of rain comes through, but look where all that rain is going off through. It's coming this direction up. It's basically pointing the way here, right? And avoiding. The center of the low goes right through the area that needs the low the most. And what happens is the center of the low ends up being the driest place. And look at the winds that are going to come out of it. So we're going to see strong winds through the prairies. This low is going to really get things blowing. Going to see thunderstorms on Sunday again, kicking off all over the place, all over Alberta, all over that northeastern part of BC, and finally that low sharing a little bit of rain, mercifully to the north. Heavy rain. That's a real developed mid-latitude cyclone, but unfortunately, it's not really helping the fires where we need the fires to be, which is, these areas, right? These areas, most of that. Well, where's the rain going to be? So you look where our highest rain totals are, and even then, like, these aren't crazy off the wall numbers, 25 to 30 mils in places like that, probably locally heavier where those thunderstorms go, a little bit, but, Alberta's fires might take a little bit of rain, so that's nice for them over the next week. There's a lot of rain that's going to be coming through. Even southern Manitoba is at risk of some heavy rain, but it might actually miss some of our fires that are happening there. Looks like the Flin Flon areas get skipped over. Looks like the big fire in Saskatchewan here, it gets mostly skipped over, a little bit, 1.8 mils, 4 mils, 6 mils. Like, this isn't going to change the story for them. So really concerned if some of this heavy rain makes its way from these storms when they come through out of the States and come north, can make its way just a little bit more north. It may be great. Otherwise, because there's some really heavy precip totals there. We're probably into the 100 mils or something like that. 100 mils down in Fargo, North Dakota and whatnot. That's nuts, right? So there's going to be like probably localized flooding problems and things like that and washouts. And same with up in the north here, 100 mils and whatnot. Whereas, maybe a little bit in far northern Saskatchewan, but really the target areas we want to see get hit. In Manitoba, a lot of Manitoba is not getting that rain at all. The central part, right? So where most of the fires are, and even, basically, the problem is not going to get resolved. The only thing that we have to look forward to is the fact that maybe temperatures will be a little bit down in the weeks ahead. A little bit by comparison. That was a pretty intense warm up we have coming. It may be a little while before we see that weather across the board in Western Canada, but I wouldn't bank on what I just said. If it happened once, we might suddenly see the model say, "Oh, look, it's going to happen again in 10 days out or something like that." So, this has been a concerning trend. Anyways, hit like, share, subscribe. I'll keep trying to come back at you with more details all the time. Thanks very much, everybody. We'll talk to you later. Bye now.